In Shahan now. So Shahan, we have been chatting to Aviwe where there were stun grenades deployed just a little earlier. Rubber bullets were fired. The situation seems to have dissipated. A community leader telling Aviwe earlier that they are not happy with the involvement of Nhlanhla. It's not clear at this time if he's still in the area, but I understand you have got some information about the whereabouts of the police minister. Tell us more.
Yeah, Sally, so I'm hearing from the police minister spokesperson, Leranzo Temba, that he actually has left the area together with the National Police Commissioner, but the tactical response team members have already been deployed to Diepsloot. So as of now, they are in the area managing the situation. And I guess that's why things have quietened down a little bit. I'm on the main road in Diepsloot, and according to Leranzo, she says that we will be seeing more police officers on the ground in this area. So several divisions within the SAPS actually deployed to Diepsloot tonight. There are 30 more officers from the TRT, which is the Tactical Response Team, and then also members from the Public Order Police here and the National Intervention Unit. So 3 separate teams from the South African Police Service are currently deployed in Diepsloot to maintain law and order. And Sally, this of course after the police minister, Bheki Cele, left the area about 45 minutes ago. That's when I spoke to her, and she said he had left the police station, but he's promised to actually come back on Friday to get an update on the interventions in place. Obviously those police officers also have a job to investigate the crime in the area, not just to make sure that things don't get out of hand here with the public.
Is the police minister spokesperson, Leranzo Temba, is she aware of the fact that after the police minister left, the police, in an attempt, it seems, to clear the road, took some fairly strong tactics by deploying stun grenades, shooting rubber bullets, and then actually going into the informal areas and firing in those areas, also deploying tear gas. Of course, then the community started throwing rocks. It's calm now, but is the police aware, is the police minister aware of that development?
Yeah, I don't think so, not just yet, because the public order police would have been involved in that particular action. But as you and I well know, public order police will take whatever force they deem necessary. And the fact that they've been deployed to the area means that the police minister is well aware that his officers are here to do exactly that. And that is, of course, to try to calm the situation down, which you say they've done the total opposite to, though, given the intervention they've actually seen through.
Yeah, it does seem from what Aviwe was seeing that it wasn't yet the tactical team, that it was just ordinary police. But of course, as you say, it's a very, very fluid situation. Certainly traffic does seem to be flowing on both the shots we've got of you and of near the bridge with that interesting structure, which is quite a landmark. You know, Shahan, 2 years ago, you were in this area. It was the scene of xenophobic attacks. And it strikes me that the issue around foreigners and possible foreigners who are also criminals is an issue that can A, easily be exploited, and B, create divisions very, very quickly in a community that's angry and afraid and feels alone. I wonder if you would share some of your experiences when you were in the community 2 years ago.
And I was actually in the exact same spot that I was 2 years ago. Let's swing around here, Percy. It's interesting, Sally, because this is where I was. I was in the corner of this street, right outside that shop that says Diepsloot. And I was reporting live there for an hour, basically, about the concerns of the community regarding what they said were foreigners who were committing crimes in the area. I went to the police station down the road. It was newly built. I think it's a couple years old, and spoke to them about their interventions. And we were promised back then by police that they will deal with the community's concerns. So it's actually quite sad that all of these years later, I'm in the exact same spot talking about the exact same concerns from these community members. And whether or not police are going to tell us they've put interventions in place and it's worked is a total contradiction to what the community has been telling us on air tonight. And these concerns are not new. Maybe the new police commissioner can actually come up with some bright ideas to get things right in this area. But we've been coming here for years. You know, I've been a journalist at eNCA for over 14 years.
Yeah.
And I remember as a young reporter, even all those years ago, coming here to talk about the very same issue, concerns about crime in Diepsloot. And the community once again saying, our pleas have been ignored and we want action, which is why we saw them out on the streets today.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Shahan, it is very sad to see that this community just feels that their pleas are not answered. I seem to remember after those two little girls were murdered and dumped that there was that plea for a new police station. We do see that new police station, relatively new nowadays, but still the crime problems continue. It is interesting to see that Nhlanhla Lux Mohlali, who of course founded Operation Dudula recently, arrived in the area. Initially, he told our reporters, look, I'm just here because I've got family here and I'm here to support the community. The community leaders, quite a few that Aviwe spoke to, saying, actually, we're sorting this with the police on our own. You've had a number of interactions with Nhlanhla Lux. What's been pushed a lot is the fact that he's targeting foreigners who shouldn't be in South Africa, who don't have the right documentation. And as we know, of course, it's very quick for that seemingly very worthy stance to translate into targeted attacks on foreigners. What do you make of Nhlanhla Lux's arrival in Diepsloot today?
Well, I think it's definitely going to ignite the situation even further, given the Operation Dudula and what it stands for, right? But when I was here all those years ago, and now from what we're hearing from interviews that Aviwe Mtila is doing, this community is talking about criminals. They might necessarily be foreigners living in the country, but even when I was here all those years ago, Sally, they said to me, yes, these are criminals who happen to be foreign. This is not us attacking foreigners in the area. And I'm wondering if they share that same sentiment tonight when you have so many of them telling Aviwe that we don't need Operation Dudula here because this is not what we're going to be talking about and pushing.
Yeah, and speaking of Aviwe, I'm going to bring him in once more.